right, delts and tricep workout. We're here, it's midnight. This is part 2 to the day 3 of the insulin diet training log check-in, whatever. But it's just gonna serve as a normal delt and tricep accessory day. And I don't really have anything planned for this session. One thing I wanna say, I'm done fucking around. I've been holding out on you guys and I apologize for that. I haven't been pushing this kind of content and doing what I set out to do back in 2020 when I, started hanging out with Ben and just really started believing in myself and turning things around. And, I'll be honest, it's because of self-doubts. It's because of just different fearful reasons. And I'm done with it. I'm sick of living that way. From here on out, I'm gonna give you guys everything that I fucking got. And that's that. So I'm just gonna start training, and I'll, you know me, I'll probably think of something to say. So I'm gonna start with lateral delt raises. I'm just gonna get to it. The first thing I'll say is the technique that I like to use on the laterals, and really any shoulder raise, is you'll notice that I'm turning my hand and my elbow with the weight as it comes up, and my pinky ends higher than my pointer finger, and it ends higher than my elbow, right? So that's how I want to be. I don't want to be shrugging out like that. I don't want to be coming forward like that. I don't want to be coming up like that with the thumb higher. I want to come up, palms together, and then I push the pinky towards the ceiling, and I end here, unshrugged, right? I have a little bit of retraction in my shoulder blades, but I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I'm just right in the middle. Shoulders sitting where they need to for a deadlift or farmers or something, right at the side. I'm only using 12-pound dumbbells here because this is my warm-up. I just walked in, I'm just gonna start training. So I'm really just trying to focus on that tempo and find my medial delts and find how I want that to feel right there before I start getting into my real sets. I had a thought just a second ago, and that's why I started this video. I think it's something to do with accessories, it was program structure and it had to do with accessories. So I wanted to say, like, we do accessories and everything after our main movements to complement and hammer a weak point that we saw in the main movement, or similar muscle groups, or XYZ, all the main reasons. But a really big reason that we do this, and I'm gonna try to keep training, so is to undo the damage that specificity of the main movements or the sport specific movements cause. So, how do we do that with a lateral delt raise? How do we make sure that this is both building and restorative? And in my opinion, it's all about the right intention behind when you lift these weights. So I'm not trying to lift the heaviest amount of weight, period. When I do these, I'm trying to lift the heaviest amount of weight. Well, I'm sorry. With accessories, I'm trying to use the lightest amount of weight possible and to make it as hard as possible. And you milk everything that you can out of those light weights before moving up. I did the majority of my training for this last prep with my single arm French presses between 25 and 30 pounds. And I just tried to control it and make it harder every session. I tried to make a better connection every session. I tried to squeeze out more reps every session and just keep using that weight and forcing myself to find ways to get better with that weight. Not only is that going to make you a better lifter, more proficient, but that's how you develop that mind-muscle connection. You don't move up. You can, if you know, a really good bodybuilder can get a pump and grow off very light weight, and it's because they've developed the ability to contract harder and harder. That ability to contract is going to be your baseline for things like acceleration and power output and skill and all those sorts of things. So it's not necessarily just the hypertrophy aspect of the muscle growth that causes the baseline that you can build from. It's the developing of the ability to contract harder while contracting. And to develop that mind-muscle connection is kind of the bro term, I guess. So right now I'm kind of just deciding my workout as I go, and it sounds like I'm gonna do 2 ascending sets. So I did 12 pounders, I'm on 15 pounders, and I'm really focusing on my tempo here. I wanna do like sets of 15 to 20, and then I wanna start my my main sets. And this was actually a technique that I learned from, oh, what's his fucking name? It'll come to me. Brett something. Anyways, he's a pro bodybuilder. He's pretty good. He's top 10 in the Olympia a few times. Ben and I worked with him out in Colorado. So he liked to do for his delts, he would do just like preload fucking so many warm-up sets of like 20. You know, like Ben was telling me they did like fucking like 10 warm-up sets that day, and then they got into heavy, you know, 8 to 12 rep range sets, and then even did some back off sets for there. So I'm just gonna try preloading with these longer, lighter tempo sets. It feels really good. So looks like we'll jump to 20s next. I wanted to say the main reason we're training right now at midnight is because guess what? Guess who's training right now? The Europeans. That's right. The Europeans are training right now, and we got to beat them. So I'm going to train when the Americans train, and I'm going to train when the Europeans train. Boom. I'll train everybody, motherfucker. Oh yeah. That's what Daddy wants. Gotta train your accessories hard. Oh yeah, baby, let's go. I think that was 12, so I'm gonna do another set.
Here, these might be my working sets. This is the 20s. Man, those preloaded sets really do a number. I don't normally train this much hypertrophy, so this is pretty nasty pump already. I haven't really done much. And the insulin, which is fucking wild. But so yeah, these might be my top sets. I might, if I do this set and it's as hard, if I get less reps in the last set, then we'll do it for one more set, and those will be my 3 working sets. Honestly, fuck the way it's setting in. Okay. I'm gonna train till I can't lift my fucking arms up.
that's gonna be our top set. Do one more here, and then I'll do a really hard back off or drop down with the 15s. Oh, this is a good one. Speaking of drop down sets, I was talking about this with one of my buddies today. All the different bodybuilding techniques like myo reps and drop down sets, and God, what are some other ones? I don't know. Supersets, all that sort of stuff. The technique itself, they're all of those techniques where you're trying to force more quality reps in, right? So you're taking some sort of rest or some sort of accommodating load or something to continue pushing quality full reps past your failure point. All of those techniques are doing the same thing, and it really comes down to, when it comes down to which one should I use, it comes down to preference and setup. So whichever one is easier for you to push harder on, and whatever one, like your machine, barbell setup, whatever you're doing, whatever's most convenient for that setup, that's really the only correct answer for how to determine which technique that you should use. Now, when to use them, we want to think of it just like adding weight to the bar. So it's minimal effective dose, right? So you get everything that you can out of your straight sets, and then you add in, the smallest amount that you can to continue progressing. And that way, if we do that, if we milk everything that we can from the light weights, if we milk everything that we can from the straight sets, and then everything that we can from the myo reps, you've now stretched your progress over a much longer span of time, and it's much more sustainable to progress through that and to build progress from that. So yeah, and that goes along with my diet too. That's why I do the unstructured thing and start completely over every single year, is for the cyclical sake of it, essentially, and for to complete a process from start to finish, and to get everything that I can. Every time I add a little bit of structure or a little bit of improvement into my diet, I milk that for all that it's worth, and then my fucking diet sustainability is way, way longer and way, way easier. So, Daddy's home. Okay, quality's going down. All right. All right. All right. Oh, maybe a little bit more with the 12s. A little bit more. 3 good ones. Slow. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, I guess I might need these. Yeah, I'm gonna need these for front delts. Okay. Well, I liked that a lot, so I'm just gonna do the same thing for front delts. Rear delts, I'll make that call when I get there, and then I'm gonna hammer 2 tricep movements. We'll call it. Ooh. Still pinky higher. It's the same thing. Palm always rotates with the weight, really on any accessory. But we'll get to those. Wow. Honestly, I think I'm gonna do 2 more sets of that with that weight. Call it for the front delts. Baby. Ooh, baby. That's a pump. That's a good pump. Whew. Oh, man. Oh, man. Whew. Train like this in a minute. It's important to stretch during training. I don't know how stretching became this thing that was this foreign concept to fucking strength athletes and to powerlifters. Like, it's so fucking standard. I think it's an American thing, but it's one of the most retarded things I've ever heard is this whole thing of like, well, you don't stretch because you don't need to be flexible in powerlifting. Well, no, I'm not trying to get more flexible. I'm trying to recover my body and get into the positions that are required of me in that sport. So it's just, every time I hear that, it makes me think like how, if that's your argument, you're just so uneducated about what stretching does and just kind of athletics in general. So I see some pretty scary like people that like are good lifters and good coaches that are they have a big following and they're looked at positively, but they're not good coaches. It just blows my mind some of these athletes that are like, yeah, stretching's dumb. Don't do that because it's this fucking gay shit that the fucking young boys came up with to sell you shit. No, it's just stretching. So you need to stretch because that's how you fully utilize your muscles and get all them juices going everywhere. One thing that is important on the front delts is to hear and try to push past the body a little bit to really get that stretch across the front delt and top of the pec area. Really expose that area. Oh, gosh. Oh, jeez. Oh, fuck. Hoo-wee.
So, one more set of fronts. Oh, man. Arnold was right when he said the pump is like coming. Like, it's so fucking good. One more set. And then, it's usually rear delts. It usually goes lateral, front, rear, tricep.
But my shoulders are so pumped. You know, especially when I'm doing this in the off season and after a pressing day where it's its own accessory day. Order doesn't matter too much. I'm gonna switch the order because my shit is so pumped up here. I'm gonna actually do my push downs next after, I'm gonna do my push downs next instead of rear delts, and then go to rear delts and then go to other tricep. And it's okay to do that. You know, if you get to your workout and you're just like, the main thing with hypertrophy and training in general, but like bodybuilding and stuff like that, like this type of training is like, you just want to force quality, right? That's all that matters is is just fucking pumping your muscle up, pushing your muscles as hard as possible, and maintaining perfect quality. So if I'm just so fucked up here that it takes away from my quality of the rear delts, then absolutely the correct answer is to just switch it up a little bit, do my triceps, and then I can go back to that. Oh my God.
So yeah, especially in bodybuilding training, don't get too hung up on certain shit like that. Alright, one more set on triceps. Oh, I'm gonna push those hard. Oh, that was good. Okay. So, got triceps next.
Every time I walk up to a tricep push down, I like to stretch in this manner right here, where I go like this, keep my elbows at 90, and I try to find a pull and stretch up here so I can really find that muscle to initiate the movement with, because I really want to develop the full tricep, not just, you know, it's really easy for push downs to just focus on this single head right here if you're just going like this, you know, but if I want to develop the full tricep, you really want to feel everything from the top of your armpit down into the elbow. So we're just warming up here. I'm gonna hit about 20 to 30 reps. So my cue is palms facing each other, knuckles facing each other, and then press down towards the ground at the end. Fully close your bicep angle. Down knuckles, press towards the ground. Flex your abs, pull your hips under you, pull your tailbone under you, round your shoulders, and just really focus on exposing your full tricep. Man. Okie dokie. We'll see what 10s feel like. This is my first time using this machine, so we'll just see what a bit of weight feels like here. Have a look-see. Probably just do ascending sets up to a top set with 10-pound, 20-pound jumps. And just work up to top set 12 to 15, something like that. That's a lot of weight for 20 pounds. was heavier than I thought, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop down 110. Kind of do a rest pause. That's what I was thinking of. So drops, that's just a little bit more casual pace. Drop on the other side. Keep dropping down. Okay, that's it on the push downs. I don't know how many I just did, but that was long. Drop that. Okay. Rear delts, and then I might do kickback. I'll do kickbacks. Yeah, like something that gets outside and the inside. This inside is how you finish a lockout. So we really want to make sure we hammer that as strength athletes. Oh, and rotator cuffs. Gotta hit rotator cuffs every upper body day. Completely unacceptable if you miss that. You are essentially building everything around the thing that holds everything together and regulates force and keeps everything moving fluidly. You're building all that shit up stronger, and the stronger you get that without increasing the strength of your rotator cuff, the more likely it is to just fucking explode because it can't handle that big of a of a thing that you've built around it. So really got to hammer the rotator cuffs. So this one, we're bending at the waist here, out in front like this, and we're turning and finishing with the pinky high. You press your rear delts to the ceiling. I'm not a fan of partial range of motion anything, but I'm not a fan of partial range of motion anything on the shoulders, especially because they're supposed to move together. And you see so many of these amateur bodybuilders that do partials on their rear delts, and they can't pose worth a shit. They can't fucking move their shoulders, and they can't get into position, and they're not even that big. So it's just like, bro, you've got yourself sucked together like glue. And you know what I mean? Like, you gotta fucking train your shoulders. Functionally is the right term. Like, you gotta train them how they're supposed to be functioned. If you take that out of it, you're really doing yourself and your muscles a disservice. So yeah, you really want to focus on pinky higher and then scoop and push the weight up towards the ceiling. This was such a good idea to come do this. I fucking love training. I love training. Oh, I fucking love this. You know, this is actually a good one for back pain, believe it or not. But I believe that like you need to get stronger in positions where you've got some flexion through the lumbar and weight is kind of out here, but it needs to be so safe. You know what I mean? So like something where you're working with 10 to 20 pound dumbbells is not going to hurt you. If anything, it might hurt you a little bit because it's finding out where you're fucked up, but that's a good tolerance to build. You need to build that tolerance if you're going to build your deadlift and you're going to make your, you know, if your back's broken at 700 pounds, you want to deadlift 900 pounds, your back needs to have a higher breaking point. And you build that higher breaking point through stuff under the thing that causes the breaking point, which seems pretty fucking obvious now that I say it. Oh, oh. Okay. This feels good to just do straight sets on. So I'm gonna hit the 15s till failure, and then that'll be my rear delt work. One more tricep, and then we'll go off to Betty by Poo Land and wrap this shit up. One more. One more. Oh, I didn't see that one coming, huh? Jeez. All right. I'm not fucking around. Let's go. Oh. All right. Kickbacks. I'm done talking. I don't have anything else to say, so I'm going to cut off here. I'm going to finish kickbacks, rotator cuffs, and get the fuck out. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, whatever.